everybody. We're going to talk about some basic 7 chords today. This is part of the basic guitar chord series, and we've done major chords and minor chords, and 7 chords are pretty common, especially with blues, that kind of thing, and also in a lot of traditional songs you'll see like a group of chords, for example G, C, and D, and you'll start to pretty often see the D chord as a D7. And what happens is the 5th chord in a lot of chord sequences is played as a 7 chord. It's called the dominant chord of a key, and it's what makes everything come back home. It makes the tonic key feel like we're being pulled to that. So just for example, here's a G chord, here's a C chord, here's a D, and back to G. And that's a pretty common chord progression, but if we do it with a D7, it sounds like this. It's a G to a C, and then here's the D7, and then the G. And it's the way the chord resolves that matters. We hear a different kind of pull, and that chord just happens to be really strong in every key. Now in the blues, you're going to find a lot of blues songs use 7 chords for every chord, and that would sound something like this, like an A7 to a D7 to an E7 to an A7, and that's a pretty common blues thing, and you're going to find 7 chords in other different places too. These are not to be confused with major 7 or minor 7. Those will be written with the letters M, A, J, 7, or just a little lowercase m and a 7. And those are going to be found in another video. These are the chords that you'll see listed as the letter of the chord, followed by the number 7. And what it really means is, for example, in a D chord, a D7, that extra note, or the note that we change, is the 7th note when compared to the name of the chord D. So if we were to count D, E, F, G, A, B, C, since C is the 7th note in relation to D, when you change a D to a D7, sure enough, that first finger that we have to change is the note C. Now, every 7 chord that you do has that same either added note or changed note in it. So in A7, you would just count A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you'll come up with the note G. And so an A chord, changing one note to open G, becomes an A7. So if the theory of it is a little tricky, that's okay. We're just going to go through some of the most common 7 chords and get those under our fingers, and then I'll give you some ideas on how to use these. So let's go alphabetically and start with an A chord. So if you know your A major chord, it's going to be pretty easy to do an A7 because it's actually using one less finger. So an A chord is frets 2, 2, and 2 on strings 4, 3, and 2. And what we're going to do is switch that around to use frets 2 and 2 on strings 4 and 2. So an A7 chord will only be string 4, 2nd fret, and string 2, 2nd fret, and we're going to use fingers 2 and 3 to do that. So we're going to play 5th string open, 2nd fret on the 4th string, 3rd string open, 2nd fret on the 2nd string, and then 1st string open. And there's no 6th string in this at all, so it should sound like this. Now, we're going to move that to a B7. The B7 is a little trickier. It's going to resemble a chord that you're going to learn later, but we're going to go ahead and do this and let you get situated so that you can get some extra practice time on it. The B7 is 5th string, 2nd fret, 4th string, 1st fret. And that's going to line up with your 2nd finger and 1st finger. Now the 3rd string is 2nd fret, but it's with your 3rd finger. Should sound like that. And then the 2nd string is open. And then this little finger that's hanging out here has to tuck in a little bit and play the 2nd fret on string 1. And that's a 4-finger chord. This is probably the toughest chord we've learned up to this point. So take your time with it. what I like to do is say the numbers in a row. So since we're not using the low string, we're not going to have a number for that or anything. It's just not played. And I like to number these 2, 1, 2, 0, 2. And then you can start to place those and know that the 5th string starts with 2, and that's going to be finger 2, and then you can go through and very slowly say 2. Next string is 1, 2, O for open string, and then little finger plays 2 on the 1st string. And that chord should sound like this. Or, and that's B7. Now, it's a tough chord, so take your time and practice that. And then when you're ready, let's move on to the next chord. So our 3rd chord in this alphabetical series is a C7. And good news on this one, it's like a regular C chord, but you add your little finger that is free in the regular C chord, you add it to the 3rd string, 3rd fret. That's the different note there. So a C chord is 3rd fret, 5th string, and 2nd fret on the 4th string. And then since we're making it a C7, we're going to put our little finger down on 3rd fret, 3rd string. And then our 1st finger, like in a regular C, is holding the 1st fret on the 2nd string, and then the 1st string is open. And that sounds like this. Or, now, moving on to the 4th chord in this alphabetical series, the D chord. To make it a D7, it's going to sort of feel like you're inverting a normal D chord, but it really doesn't, you can't think about it that way. You have to think about it as an entirely different chord. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to start on the 4th string, D, and then we're going to play 2nd finger, 2nd fret on the 3rd string. And then 2nd string is going to be 1st finger, 1st fret, and then our 3rd finger will play 2nd fret on the 1st string. And so a regular D chord is 2, 3, 2, and a D7 is 2, 1, 2. But your fingers have to readjust for that shape. So you have to think about these as definitely 2 different chords. So again, that's open 4th, 2nd finger, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 1st finger, 1st fret on the 2nd string, 3rd finger, 2nd fret on the 1st string. And then play those 4 strings, it should sound like this. That was D7. Now the next is an E7, and really good news on this one is that you put an E major chord down, and all you have to do is lift your 3rd finger. No 3rd finger in this, but nothing else changes. So the regular E chord is open low string, and then 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, and then strings 2 and 1 are open. You just lift your 3rd finger, and that makes the 4th string open, and that becomes the E7 chord. So it's open 6th string, 2nd finger, 2nd fret on the 5th string, open 4th string, that 3rd finger, not pressing anything, and then your 1st finger remains on the 1st fret, 3rd string, and then B is open 2nd string and open 1st string E, and that should sound like this. Now, we're going to skip the letter F because that is a bar chord, and that's an entirely different video. So we're going to go right to the next letter of the alphabet, which is G. And G is similar to a regular G major chord. If you play the easy G, that you're going to have to make some adjustments. And the easy G refers to using fingers 1, 2, and 3 to play a G chord. If you use the difficult G, I know that's kind of a funny way of thinking about it, but most people think of this one as the difficult G or the tough G. That's using fingers 2, 3, 4. Then it's just a single finger change, and I'll let you work that out between the chords as we get used to it. I'm just going to go straight to the G7 and talk fingers, and then you'll be able to make sense out of how to apply the G7 based on what G major chord you're using right now. So to play the G7, it's low string, 3rd finger, 3rd fret. That's your note G. Then, next string, second finger, second fret. Then we have 3 open strings. Strings 4, 3, and 2 are all open. Then we use our first finger to play first fret on string 1. And let's go through those again. So it's low string, 3rd fret, 5th string, 2nd fret, and then the 4th string is open, 3rd string is open, 2nd string is open, and then the 1st string is 1st fret. And that sounds like this. G7. Now I'll go back through each of these chords and go through just the 7 chords, each letter of the alphabet, without talking about the major chord or anything, so we can just talk fingers and make sure we've got all these put together. So the A7 is 5th string open, and then 2nd fret, open, 2nd fret, and open. So we're going to go from string 5 to 1 using O, 2, O, 2, O. And on this one, use fingers 2 and 3. Let fingers 1 and 4 just sit this one out. Now on B7, starting on the 5th string, it's 2nd finger, 2nd fret, 1st finger, 1st fret, and then 2nd fret with your 3rd finger on string 3, open 2nd string, and then your little finger tucks into the 2nd fret on the 1st string. That's 2, 1, 2, O, 2, starting at the 5th string. C7 is 5th string, 3rd fret, 4th string, 2nd fret, and then 3rd string, 3rd fret with your little finger. 2nd string is 1st fret, and then open 1st string. D7 is 4th string, open, 2nd finger, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 1st finger, 1st fret on the 2nd string, and then 3rd finger on the 2nd fret, 1st string. Then E7 is open low string, 2nd finger, 2nd fret on the 5th string, open 4th string, 1st finger, 1st fret on the 3rd string, and then 2nd string open, 1st string open, and then G7, low string, 3rd fret, 5th string, 2nd fret, and then 4th string is open, 3rd string is open, 2nd string is open, and then 1st finger, 1st fret. So that's A7, B7, C7, D7, E7, G7. So good luck with those, and we will talk about how to apply these on another video very soon. Thanks.